Welcome to the Living Ageless and Bold podcast. Each episode, I bring you amazing women who inspire, educate, and share their experiences and journeys along the way. So grab a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's relax and have some fun hearing what can be accomplished after 55. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm super excited. I always say that every episode because I just have the most amazing guests. So today's guest is Yolanda Taylor, but she goes by Yo. I saw her on the Today Show and I was like, oh my gosh, she is just embodying living ageless and bold. She spent over 30 years as a flight attendant for Delta. We're going to talk about that because what a fun, exciting career. But it was through that she was influenced by fashion, going to all these amazing countries. And now in her late 50s is a wardrobe stylist, empowering women over 50 to look and feel their best. So thank you so much, Yo, for joining me today. I'm just so excited to hear your whole journey and your story.
Well, thank you for having me. My story is I was in college and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and Delta was hiring. And I thought, wow, what a party.
Yeah,
so I became a flight attendant. And I thought, I was always into fashion. I was like wearing adult clothes when I was in high school, dressing like that on the college campus. It was
I heard you say that. And it's so funny because I grew up in the 80s too. And when I heard that, when you said that, I'm like, I used to wear heels and skirts and little Angora sweaters to high school. Like, I think that was I think of my daughter when she went, it was like hoodies and pullovers and no makeup, but I was done, hair done, makeup, like the whole 9 yards for high school.
It was because we were like, remember merry-go-round and Casual Corner and Paul Harris. I thought I was styling, man. I was into it. So I had so much fun doing that. But as a flight attendant, I also worked for Saks for about, I think it was one season. And I spent my entire paycheck and savings there. I said, okay, this is not the part-time job for me.
Yeah.
But then, after 31 years flying, I was always still having my nose in a fashion magazine, keeping up, reading, constantly following the industry. And so it became a side hustle for me during that time as a flight attendant as well.
Yeah. And before we talk about your business now, which is so cool, and I probably need to hire you too. We'll talk about that too. But 31 years as a flight attendant, and you have children and you have grandchildren. So to juggle that, it has to be difficult too. So let's kind of talk about I always thought that, being a flight attendant was the most glamorous thing ever because you get to fly all over the world. You meet incredible people. Sometimes you meet celebrities on your planes and you obviously got to go to amazing, fashion, Paris and Rome and things like that. So what was 31 years of that like?
It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of great women, fabulous women doing all sorts of interesting things. That's where I learned that I can have more than one gear, that I can do two things at once, and many flight attendants do. Traveling to my dream cities like Paris and Milan and Rome, fashion capitals, was amazing. I loved New York a lot because I lived in Cincinnati. So just being in places where people were very fashionable and being in that space kept me energized and excited, and seeing the streetwear and seeing what people were actually wearing beyond just the magazines. That was always fun and exciting for me. But as a mother, I was a single mother when my son was 2.5. So there was a lot of juggling because he would go from his dad's house to my parents' house, and I was blessed because I lived where I grew up. And so I had a strong support system to help me with my son. When you travel, you have to know that your child is safe and loved. And so I was really blessed in that.
And you weren't taking 2-hour flights, from Cincinnati to New York. You were flying to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a whole other country. It's not like you can get home quickly.
Exactly. After a while, once you build up some seniority so you can pick better schedules, I would fly Paris on a Sunday evening, and then I would be home by 2 o'clock to beat the school bus home. That gave me basically Tuesday through Friday to do room mother things and homework and make all of his sporting events.
You are the epitome of what we talk about on this show. And I always joke about men, and I'm not bashing men. I've been happily married for a very long time. I have a son. Like, I love men, but we just make it work. We make it happen. It's just what we do. I tell a funny story. My son came home one day, and my first book that I had written, I was so excited, and I was like, Justin, look, I got my book. And he's like, oh, is that what you were doing? Like at 1 a.m. when I would come home at night, because I would be going to all of their things and doing their sporting events and cooking dinner. And then when they left, I would work on my book. So we make it work.
That's what I did. I took courses at night to learn computer skills and things. In the middle of the night, I would be up doing things like that. Before he went to school. And then during school, that's when you get your workouts in, you get the meals done. It's a lot. You're juggling a lot. So
when you did those trips, did you ever, because Europe's usually a little further ahead of us in fashion trends, were you bringing things back for your girlfriends? Like, oh, you got to try this. Like, this looked so great.
So what I did, because I was a flight attendant on a flight attendant salary, and I was a single mother.
There is that little detail.
All of that part. So what I did was buy certain things. I was a strategic shopper. My superpower is to find the look for less. The thing I loved about Europe is that the quality of clothes. I remember getting a fabulous cashmere wool coat, pea coat, classic coat that I still have today.
I say you probably still wear it.
I still wear it from H&M. And so the quality of H&M clothes there, by the time it got here, it was not the same. So I think companies know, the manufacturing places in like China and other countries, they know they can't bring that to Europeans.
Wow. So yeah, how lucky then that you could do that.
The quality is much better here. I mean, in Europe. So that was the one thing I learned, that if I want something that was high quality at a mid-price or lower price brand, I needed to get it there. That was one of the takeaways.
And we found back in the 90s, my girlfriend and I went to Italy right after college, and her dad was working there. So we had a free place to stay. And we went to the markets in Florence, and I did it recently. It was very different in the 90s, but we came back with gorgeous leather pieces that there was no way we could afford in the US that, were staples in our wardrobes for a long time.
Yeah, that it makes a difference, but it's fun. I think too, it's almost like an event when you're shopping there. You feel you're already, once you step off the plane, you feel like, oh, I want to dress up. I want to look really nice. I want to feel fashionable when you get there. And so it's a whole different energy that I would bring back.
So 30 years, you're doing this, you raise kids. What made you finally decide, okay, I'm done flying and this is what I really want to do. This is my passion in my 50s for my next chapter, and I want to help other women of that age.
So around 2019, I decided to start being a style blogger. And so I just started blogging, talking about my journey through with just trying to get dressed and menopause. That menopause was like the 1-2 punch. You thought PMS was bad, but mix a little PMS and the menopause. It's like a witch's brew.
Right.
And so, my journey and trying to deal with my clothes. So that's what gave me the passion to start blogging about my journey going through this. And then it just started expanding. COVID hit. And then I said, I have to stay home and take care of my dad. My dad lives with us. And so he had a lot of illnesses. He could not be in a hospital. I needed to be there with him and take care of him. So, and that's when I just put the pedal to the metal and started making it a full-on business of actually styling women.
So to help, people who are watching or listening who might have an idea, whether it's styling or something else, how did you get started? Did you just start with your friends? You said you started the blog, but how did you get your first customer?
That was so funny. So, the lady who came, because we were refinancing her house, she came and my husband goes, "Oh, my wife's a stylist." She goes, "Oh, I need one." I go, "Oh, great." And so,
and there you have it.
Yeah, it was so it just worked out and it was so much fun. I loved it because I was in my happy place in someone's closet, helping them recreate looks from your closet first. It's like like we were talking about, my other colleague, she's an artist. This was my creative space. And so from there, I just started getting more and more word of mouth. But it's fun and I know how to do it. I do a lot virtually.
So yeah. So somebody like me who might have held on to a few too many items over the last 20 years, how do you work? So you either come in virtually or come to a home, and like, how do you know what to get rid of? Let's back up. What should every closet have? Like, what are the must-haves that every woman over 50 needs in her closet? And then we can talk about how we start getting rid of the 20-year-old stuff.
I would say the must-have are basic, clean line dresses that you can layer. Things that if you go up 20 pounds, because your average weight gain and loss is 5 to 20 pounds. Clothes that will allow you to go up a size in and still look good if you go down a size, go back to your original size. Because those will always fit. And it's demoralizing when you go in a closet and you can't put something on. So make sure that you have, I would say, blacks, camels, and like something that's a pop of color. You need color in your wardrobe and in your life. And also jewelry, plain accessories, layering, less is more, and just have some really fun pieces to add to your wardrobe staples. I would have a suit. If you like jumpsuits, jumpsuits are one piece. There's not a whole lot of fuss. You don't have to think about it, but get one that's really nicely tailored. It will last you forever. As long
what
as
about, you said jumpsuits. So I have two jumpsuits. One's off the shoulder, which will stay, timeless. And one is off of one shoulder, which is more trendy now. So what do we do with, I feel like they always come back. The things I saw now, I have some great old jeans that still fit that are really flared at the bottom. And that's like super hot this season. I'm like, oh, I have that. I'm so excited. That's why I never throw anything away, because I'm so afraid it's always going to come back.
Well, I'm kind of like this with the jeans thing. I would definitely keep your jeans because they do. They right now, if you look, high-waisted is in, low rise are in, mid rise. There's a brand called Mother. I mean, so keep your jeans. Just keep your jeans as long as they fit really good. Just, you can accessorize it with a fabulous, fun top and with some really great shoes. I would definitely invest in good shoes, you guys. If you don't spend money on anything else, invest in your feet. I have flight attendant feet. Invest and take care of your feet. They're the most important thing.
You say that, and it's probably been 15 years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, I went to Nordstrom and did the personal shopper thing. And I found a pair of Stuart Weitzman black pumps, patent pumps. and I bought them in black and I bought them in like a bone color. And they're high heels. I speak and I'm out in public, so I need them. They are the best shoes ever. I have worn them 100 times. They were really expensive. They were probably $500 a pair, but I've never bought another pair of black or bone pumps. I take really good care of them. Even if I travel, I wrap each one in its own bag and I keep it in a box at home. But if I had spent $50 a year on each pair of shoes, which is easily done, of those colors, you're absolutely right. And I can walk for hours in these high heels because they're really, really good shoes.
That's ROI. That's when you purchase things that are investment, you've got a ton of ROI on those shoes.
Tons.
And they're well made, and it's not, something that's disposable fashion.
Right. Let's talk about that because that's such a hot topic right now. I have one of my best girlfriend's daughters is very into sustainable fashion. She's got a very popular blog. She's been interviewed several times about it. Our generation, that's not us. So trying to get into that, tell me, how do you feel about that and making use of what you have in your closet instead of, constantly updating?
Well, the first thing you want to do is shop your own closet because, like I said, jeans are all over the place. Keep the ones that you have. I still have low-rise flare leg jeans, just like you were talking about. I pulled them out. People are like, oh, I love those. Cargo, I have a pair of leather cargo jeans I pulled out. People are like, oh my God. There's certain things that you'll keep forever. So you have a lot of treasures, especially women our age. We have a lot of treasures already in our closet. Just make sure it fits. If you need to lose 30 pounds or more to get into that thing, let it go. That's your rule of thumb. If you have to work harder than, say, 20 pounds to get into it, live life, have the bread, have the wine, let it go. If you can get in it in a Spanx or a body shaper, it's a keeper because there's this, I always say small, Spanx small, medium, Spanx medium. If you can still get in it with a body shaper, it's a keeper. That means you can lose a few pounds, drop some water weight and get into it and enjoy the outfit. But if you got to stress yourself out trying to lose weight, enjoy life and
You're
let
so
it go.
funny. I found at Nordstrom Rack years ago a Ted Baker dress that was $29 and it was a size 4 that I could not get into. But I had been of that size before, and a 4 at a Ted Baker is probably more like a 6. And pink is my color. It's my brand color, and it's the most gorgeous dress ever. And sure enough, it took me years, but I got into that dress, and I still can wear that dress today. But if it had been too much of a stretch, I agree with you. But it sat there as kind of like my enticement. Like, that dress, you need to be in that dress. And then I saw Hoda Kotb in the dress on the Today Show, the exact same dress. I'm like, I'm getting in that dress.
See, there you go. And if it's a reasonable amount of weight, sometimes I believe you can look good at any size. And I don't think that women should be killing themselves just to get into a dress. If you're going to exercise and be healthy, come to me and talk to me about how you're doing it for your health first. And then we can talk about what's in your closet so you have a reasonable and healthy attitude about.
Right. I think women at every size can look spectacular. Really, you don't have to be. And I don't like, the way America is, that if you're not a 00, forget it. Because that's not reality.
That's not reality.
Yeah.
It's not. I have my grandkids here this weekend. I know I've gained 7 pounds minimum. So, that's why I say have clothes that you can wear, that you can go up a size in or go down a size in. That way you know that when you get that call from that client or that customer, or if you want to change jobs and you're getting an interview because you've decided to go back into the workforce, have clothes that you can, I call grab and go style, that you look in that section, you grab and go get your money clothes. You look in that section, grab something that you know is going to light you up, that you love to wear, that it fits and it's comfortable and you're ready to go.
And that's so important. You say that lights you up. Because if you're wearing those too tight jeans, you're squeezing into them and you're not going to feel good. But if you try that on, you're like, I look good. Like, this is good. You're going to have that infectious, attitude with the people that you're around that, when you look good, when you feel it, it comes across.
Yeah. Temple University just did a study on, are people getting promoted more so if you look good, do you get more promotions? What it is if you look good, they found that if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you're going to be a better producer. So because you feel confident, all of that translates. So it's the same thing if you own a business. If you look good, you feel good, you walk in the room, I would argue that you will not only get that client, but you'll upsell that client.
I agree. I do agree with that. So how do you work with somebody? Like, if you go into this closet that has stuff, like I said, maybe a closet I know that's got 20 years worth of stuff in there. Where do you start? Where could I start before I even have you come in? Because I'd be mortified to have you come in.
I would, all the things that, like I said, if it's going to take a heavy lift to lose the weight to get into it, that's the first thing. I would eliminate anything with holes and tears. There's a company called 4 Days, FOR Days. They have a recycling bag that you can order for $20. They give you $20 worth of credit to buy their recycled item clothes that they've remade. But you just put all of those things with moth holes, tears, stains that you're never going to get out. Put all those things in that bag, put it in a mailbox. They take it and then you're helping the environment. So, and then you have your section of donate clothes that are gently used. There's so many women. Think about battered women's shelter, kids transitioning from foster care who could use those clothes right away. Find organizations like that, take them, or just take it to Goodwill. Goodwill is hiring people. They're providing jobs. Even though they're selling those clothes, they're providing jobs to people who otherwise couldn't get them. So you're still doing good things. Get rid of those things first. Then you can really see what you have and think about what your current lifestyle is and what your future lifestyle is going to be. If you have if suits are not your thing, if you've worked in corporate America all your life, you decide I'm going to open up a floral shop. Do you really need 20 suits? No. Save one because you're going to be a speaker because everybody's a speaker.
You're right. Now, what about shoes? Because shoes change, but then they come back.
Classics, if they're comfortable, all these shoes come back. I must have 20 pair of over-the-knee boots. And every year I'm looking at the runways going, oh, please stay. Oh, yay. If I see one designer with them on the runway, I'm good.
So my mother gave me a pair of Anye shoes from maybe the 70s, 80s. I don't know, but I still have them because I'm like, they're Anye shoes. Like I don't even know if Anye is still a designer. Like that's so old, but they're pointy toed. And then when the pointy toes come back, I'm like, oh, I might be able to wear these. So.
Well, pointy toes are in. If you can wear them. I know I have a lot of clients, and including myself, who want lower heels. I mean, my feet just start barking if they see any high heels in my closet. I've gotten rid of all of them. I replaced them all with lower heels. So
and I do wedges. I love wedges because I can wear a higher wedge because you've got support.
Exactly. So that's the thing I would do with shoes. Focus on the heel height and comfort for yourself. That's what you get rid of because I'm telling you, all these shoes are coming back. Remember all the jeweled shoes that we had, the high heels with the jewels on them? All of that's coming back, the jeweled sandals. So if they're in good condition, you love them, keep them, put them aside. And if they go out and the trend comes back in to pull them in. But main thing is keep the ones that fit, are comfortable, and are in good condition. If you have shoes that you love, take them to a good cobbler. Protect them.
Yeah, I've done that with belts too, like good, cool belts that I wore for so long, but the shoe places can fix the belts. The leather belts they can fix.
And handbags.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We didn't even talk about handbags, but that's another problem. But those don't really go out of style, right? You just as long
Right.
as
If you have, yeah, I think handbags, just keep the ones that you really love. If you have those Coach bags and that we had, remember those heavy leather ones we had?
yes.
Hold on to those, because if you look at the Coach website, it'll have their new things, this thing, and then at the end it says reloved. So they're in the resale business as well, just like these other stores like ThreadUp and The Real Real and these companies,
Right.
because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, the reloved industry. So
Yeah.
you might as well get some ROI off what you have if you don't want it anymore, to trade it in for
And
something more.
anything that's nice that you've invested money in, a Coach bag, that's a nice leather bag. Keep
It
that.
is.
I wouldn't get
Yeah.
rid of that.
No, I wouldn't. And I haven't.
All right, let's talk about the Today Show. That's where I found you. Actually, I have to give my husband credit where credit is due. He was watching and hit pause and rewind. He's like, "You got to come down and see this woman. She's perfect for the podcast," which you were. So, how did that happen? That's so exciting for you.
I happened to be in an elevator talking. I went to an event with my husband who took me to this event. It was so amazing in New York. And I was in the elevator talking to a gentleman named Michael Clinton. And Michael Clinton has this business called Roar. And he's celebrating everybody that's over 50. And how we're showcasing all these fabulous things. He goes, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm a retired flight attendant, and now I'm a wardrobe stylist." He goes, "Oh, great." He said, "That's perfect." But I was, also dressed the part. So that's why how you show up matters, because you never know who's in the space with you, who can help introduce you to people that can lead you to other opportunities. Opportunities are never lost. That's why I say opportunities are never lost. They go to better dressed people who are ready, period.
Absolutely.
And that's how it happened. And it was amazing.
I'll tell you what's crazy is I'm pretty sure I'm going to check when we're done. I think he just connected with me on LinkedIn.
Oh my God, he's amazing. You'll love him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's fantastic. He's a great guy. He's
Okay.
really nice.
I'm going to look, because I really do think so. I'll tell him that I interviewed you. And so he helped you get the interview.
Some people called me up and said, "Hey, they said," because he featured me as a reimagineer, one of his reimagineers.
Yeah.
And so they said they needed some reimagineers for the Today Show called Second Acts. And so, there were a couple people, and then they chose me.
Wow. Well, congratulations. And I know what that'll do for your business. And like I said, I found you from there. So that's exciting. You said that a lot of your old flight attendant colleagues found you through that.
Yeah, people started really reaching out and connecting. And so that was really, really nice. I was really surprised. Because I'm usually so busy with my dad during the day and taking him places, I don't usually get a chance to see a lot of TV, because I'm usually like at a doctor's office doing work. And so, it was just awesome to see that, to reconnect with everybody. It was just amazing.
And you are amazing. Again, I talk about you're the epitome of living ageless and bold. You started this business while you're taking care of your dad. You've got grandchildren. Your hands are full. Yet you found a way to do something that makes you happy and really inspires other women.
And I thank you so much for that. I love what I do. I love helping women reconnect with their inner style star. Because I've lost myself. We all get in fashion ruts, and especially if you're a caregiver, it's easy just to not put yourself together, but you do feel better. If you look good, you feel good, and it helps to keep you young and inspired. And that energy is infectious, and other people want to be around you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. And tell everybody what your website is so they can find you.
You can find me at thestyletable.com. I'm on all the social media platforms, Instagram at The Style Table, Facebook at The Style Table. I'm on Yolanda Taylor on LinkedIn. And I'm even TikToking now.
I just started TikToking too. I'm doing a whole living ageless and bold on TikTok because I think women are out there. So.
Yes, that's where it's funny because that's where we're living. So yeah, I do. So you can connect with me there. Yeah. Just DM me and we'll chat.
Awesome. Well, I wrap up every show with the same 2 questions. What is the greatest thing you've accomplished since you turned 50?
The greatest thing I've accomplished since I've turned 50 is rediscovering that I can do something else, that I'm still relevant, that I can live out my passion out loud, that I have a voice in the fashion world too.
I might steal that, but we'll use that as a quote, living your passion out loud. That's awesome. That's great. And then where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully expanding my business, leaving a legacy for my granddaughters. And so they can have a representation of, yeah, I can do this too. And even if I'm doing it slower, it doesn't mean that, it's ever over,
And what a cool hip grandma you are.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, Yo, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone, all the information will be in the show notes. You can reach out to her if you need help like me. I'm going to be reaching out to her too, restyling. But thanks for sharing your journey with us.
Okay, thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
Thank you for listening or for watching this episode of Living Ageless and Bold. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit subscribe. And if you like the episode, I hope that you will give us a great review. You can also head over to livingagelessandbold.com and sign up for information, inspiration, and exclusive opportunities for us, women over 55. Thanks for listening. And remember, no matter what you do, keep living ageless and bold.